Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today because I am in Julian, California. Originally started out as a gold mining town. Now it's known for its apples, small town feel, great little restaurants, great places to eat, shop, all that stuff. We also just did the tour of the Hubble house. James Hubble, the artist, toured his property where he and his family raised his family, and absolutely amazing. This video is going to have a lot of the Hubble property thrown in throughout, so you're going to see me cut that into the video. There is so much to cover with the national business news right now, and we're going to get into that. Before I get into it, please take a second to the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share this with all your friends and colleagues, and let's get into it. First things first, Bill Ackman, who is a financier, hedge fund billionaire, has just announced that he wants the Fed to raise interest rates as soon as possible. And Bill Ackman runs Pershing Square. It's a hedge fund. It's got over $13 billion in assets under management. And Bill Ackman is known for one thing over the last couple years, and that's this. He is the one that went on CNBC and said that the market was going to tank in 2020 and had bet against it and made over $1 billion on that call. Now, here's the thing. Was that a good call? Was it honest? Is he a scoundrel? Yes to everything. And very cool motorcycle somebody's got there. But the point is that this guy goes on Maria Bartiromo's show and talks about how the Fed needs to start ending the quantitative easing immediately. We need to raise interest rates or it's going to destroy the economy. In fact, this guy went out and did a presentation to the New York Fed, and it's pretty intriguing because the presentation that he made, I included it in the video description below, so you should take a look at that. But it covers everything. Why should we do this? Where the economy's at, where employment is at, what other countries are doing, what the Bank of England's saying they're going to do. This is affecting everything, and everything points to the fact that the only way to stop the madness, the only way to stop this charade, and that the way that our economic system is completely falling apart is to raise interest rates immediately. So, please share your thoughts on all this stuff. I really want to know what you guys think. This is just a really cool small town, and so much to see. Kids dressed up for Halloween. Really nice. So again, throughout this video, I'm going to show you some of the videos from the Hubble house. The place was absolutely amazing. James Hubble is an artist who was an architect. He did paintings, sculptures, stained glass, just really, really amazing. And I had a friend that got me a ticket and got me on the tour, and it was just absolutely stunning and just a really cool experience. Now again, everybody wants to be the person that's going to call inflation. You're going to want to be the person that called the stock market crash last time. Bill Ackman is not alone. Goldman Sachs came out, and Goldman Sachs is doing an about face on everything. Goldman Sachs, Jan Hatzius, I love this guy because he came out and said, we're going to say that inflation is going to go down in early 2022. This is all overrated. It's a big hype, and everybody needs to realize that inflation is just not so bad and it's no big deal. Okay, well, okay, trendsetter, okay, original, thinker, whatever. I think Goldman Sachs is delusional, and even the Yahoo story is kind of like, this is crazy that they're pushing this because it's just to go against the grain. But again, these financiers have to be held accountable. They have to be responsible for, honesty, which they're not. All they're doing is telling us to buy, And that's why Jim Cramer, I think, is a fool. And again, Jim Cramer's investment club, you can sign up for it and get his predictions. It's absolutely crazy to think that this guy is remotely responsible or cares if you make $1. So share your thoughts on all this stuff as I walk through this little town. It's very cool. Share your thoughts. Just met Jim, a subscriber, very nice guy, and his wife. It was nice to meet people up here from Orange County. And again, it's always great to meet you guys. Share your thoughts on that.
And to know what it is you're asking of them, before you get yourself into too much trouble. The number 3 son, at the time, was probably 12 or 13, and his job was he had to work on all the floor tiles.
Now another Morgan Stanley story, and that's this. They're trying to say that this has been, a blowout quarter for companies and their earnings. You can go crazy, and you can sit around and pour through an earnings report from all these different public companies and try to dissect it and try to talk about different sectors. And overall, certain companies are doing fine. But one thing that was reported that I'm completely getting a kick out of is the company U.S. Steel is trying to declare that there is no chip shortage. It's over with. Chip shortage is done. People are making plenty of money. The inventory problems that companies are having are just short term, and the supply chain problems are short term. The employment problems are short term, and that there is no issues when it comes to people in chip shortages, especially in the car industry. Okay, there's no inventory at these places. No one is buying new cars right now. Now, here's a great story. Now, it may be an awful time to buy a new car, but the used car market is insane, okay? I'll give you a perfect example. Lawrenceville, New Jersey. There was a Honda minivan, okay? 2019, it was a $21,000 van, brand new. And this thing went for sale in the used car market. Brad Wimmer is a car dealer in New Jersey, and they listed the car. Car immediately went viral where people were bidding on it, and the car sold for $29,000. Okay? Hello. Okay? It's absolutely insane that these cars are getting bid up, and you're seeing used cars sell for more money than you are seeing new cars. I have people that write me and tell me about buying trucks and F-150s, and they've driven it for a year, put 20,000 miles on the car, and the dealership's offering them more money than they paid for it. I know someone who bought one of those converted vans, Dodge vans, that is a sleeper van, and the dealer called her and said, if you ever want to sell it, I'm the buyer for this thing, and we'll offer her more money than she paid for it. So you're seeing insanity like this right now in the used car market. If you've got a car and you need money and you want to unload it, this is the time to do it. And you need to look at these car buying places too, because places like CarMax are paying top dollars for used cars right now. You can drive it in there, they'll give you an estimate, and it's absolute lunacy what they're giving people as far as the money. So check things like that out before you sell it via yourself or private party.
And to know what it is you're asking of them, before you get yourself into too much trouble. The number 3 son, at the time, was probably 12 or 13, and his job was...
Apple just announced a problem, and that they just had a $6 billion write-off with their latest financial announcement. And the revenue for the iPhone is off, but they're blaming everything on the supply chain issues right now. Okay? Is that a problem? Is that the main problem? Who knows? They had more revenue, but they're taking a hit right now. The other company that is doing something really unique is McDonald's. McDonald's just teamed up with IBM, and they're going to have a strategic partnership to have a completely automated drive-through system. Complete AI. It's going to take people's order. In fact, McDonald's was developing this, and IBM just bought it from them. So you're going to pull up to a McDonald's very soon, in early 2022, and you will not deal with an employee. No more person taking the order. It's going to all be AI in the near future. And with that, you're going to see less employees at each McDonald's, and it's going to eventually save them money with this partnership through IBM. So Arby's has tested this out at a couple places. You know, do you guys care? I mean, I don't care. I just think that people are so fed up with working these jobs that the best thing that these companies can do is save money and get a better system. McDonald's in the air is paying $15 an hour. You're seeing Del Taco pay $16 to $20 an hour. This is just standard, but if you could get rid of these people, the cost savings will be incredible. I won't use those kiosk things. I always like to talk to somebody when I do it, but the artificial AI is completely automated. You can speak to it. Thing will, you know, answer your questions and get your order placed. So share your thoughts on this. Let me know if you think that this is the future, if this is something that interests you down the road. Talk about gas prices going up a lot. San Francisco has the highest gas per gallon in the state right now, on average $4.75 for a large city. Now you see onesies, twosies on the gas stations that are bigger than that, but congratulations to San Francisco on being number one with their ridiculous gas prices. China, I think you're only going to hear this here, okay? This is kind of cool. China's got a real problem with this fuel. They are rationing coal. They're intervening with companies on how coal is consumed, and they're out of diesel gas right now. There are gas stations throughout China that are completely out of gas right now, and this is a huge, huge problem. So when they start rationing things like that, how do you deliver food? How do you deliver products to different businesses? You don't. So their economy is getting destroyed right before their eyes by all these rationing of the fuels and the coal problem that they have there. So again, because they're a communist country and they don't share things like the rest of the world does, we have to get bits and pieces of it through different news media organizations, and this is no different. But China's a mess right now, and their fuel costs are a mess. Their ports are closing right now and cannot stay open because they don't have the fuel to operate. The electricity is down in certain areas, and they are rationing that as well. So you're going to hear more and more of this eventually, but again, stuff that we make there is going to be, it's going to take much, much longer to get it than it has in the past. So we need to all get used to that.
Lopez, who does ceramic work, and Jim, there are others that can't recall exactly their names this minute, but as Bruce is designing homes, he's incorporating artwork for the clients if they.
It's great to walk through this town, seeing all the history. You've got plaques on all the walls saying, you know, the store was open in 1890, and just really, really cool feel. People walking about, being really nice. It would be terrible to be Wells Fargo. The bad news that keeps coming out of Wells Fargo is just multiplied. It seems like each week there's something new. They just had an investment advisor, Kenneth Welsh, who is part of the high-end program where if somebody's got, you know, you've got a lot of money, Wells Fargo will help you invest it. Well, this guy went out and took almost $3 million of clients' money and used it for his own purposes, buying gold, put it in his own checking account. This guy put it in relatives' credit cards. I mean, he did a lot of stuff with it and scattered it all over the place and got caught and got arrested. He's in New Jersey, but again, with all the bad news with Wells Fargo lately, the hits just keep on coming for them. So, you know, share your thoughts. What do you think of Wells Fargo as a company? I call them Hells Fargo lately because of all the problems that they've had. But share your thoughts on that, guys. I really want to know what you think.
And to know what it is you're asking of them, you know, before you get yourself into too much trouble. The number 3 son at the time was probably 12 or 13, and his job was he had to work on all the flyers.
Mark Zuckerberg has taken a lot of hit for his name change for Facebook to Meta. There is a Canadian company called Meta Materials that has benefited from this name change. Their stock shot up on Friday because people thought that Meta Materials was in fact Facebook, and people were buying it, and it's kind of funny that Facebook's going to change their ticker symbol come next week. It's like MMVS or something ridiculous, but it's not going to be like Facebook anymore. So Meta benefited from this in Canada. Share your thoughts on this. Again, the backlash to Mark Zuckerberg has been brutal and ruthless, and people have been not kind, to say the least. Share your thoughts on it. The Texas Federal Reserve does a monthly survey with manufacturing companies in Texas, and they ask them, different questions about employment, different questions about loans, interest rates, but the biggest concern lately has been their pricing, what they're paying for things, what they're charging for things, and if they're seeing an inflationary spike. This has gone up through the roof, and nobody sees it ending anytime soon, but this is something that's staggering. Of all the manufacturing facilities that they interviewed in Texas, over 50% said that they had risen, they had paid more money, and their prices have risen over the course of the last month and had to charge more money to their customers. They see no end in sight. No one sees this as, oh, it's just short term, it's going to end soon. It's not. So when you look at the inflationary spike of places like Texas, and Texas is a lot like California, where they're basically, a country unto themselves, and all this manufacturing, and everybody's paying more for everything right now. And when they looked at every sector, is it shipping, is it raw goods, is it electricity, fuel, everything has gone up, everything that they've paid money for. Not one company said that they had paid less money in any sector. Take a look at the interview. It's completely interesting, but it gives you an idea of how bad things are with this pricing and what you're going to start to see. So again, very cool place to walk around. You got this bed and breakfast and different places to take a look at. This hotel, $1897 for this place. Let's go get a look at the front door. It's funny, we were talking about San Francisco earlier. When I used to travel to San Francisco, when you would go to things like the JP Morgan conference, this hotel where it says private baths, of course, what do you mean? I'm going to share a bathroom with 5 people? There are hotels in San Francisco where you share a bathroom, okay? Morning, neighbor. Pass. Okay, so share your thoughts on this stuff, okay? The one story we cannot avoid covering over and over and over and over again is the inflationary spike. Mark Mobius of Mobius Capital Partners was on Maria Bartiromo's show as well, and he talked about how the inflationary spike is going to continue up. He's predicting 30% increase in prices across the board. Everything is going up worldwide. Labor prices, people are getting paid more money in foreign countries. They're getting paid higher wages than they've ever been paid before. It is more expensive to source raw materials than it's ever been. And you're seeing shipping costs go up, whether it be land, sea, air, carrier pigeon, everything's going up. Mr. Mobius convinced that this is not going to end anytime soon. And that, think about this right now. If you get a guy like this who's not just trying to grab headlines, he's trying to make money for his clients. That's what these financiers do. Now, Some people have money in these places, some people don't, but you need to listen to certain people that step forward and say, you know, things are going to go up 30%. Are you prepared with your family to have your lifestyle go up 30%? If everything across the board in your life went up 30%, okay? Food, energy, that includes gas, electric, gas for the house to heat the house because it's getting colder, you know, things at your kid's school. You know, when my son played sports, I used to call it getting $100 to death. And what that was he'd come home, he'd rip his pants, and I'd find myself at, you know, 8:50 at night going to buy new baseball pants, and it was constantly $100 for this, $100 for that, you know, at the last minute every time. Are you prepared to have it be $30 more every time? 130. Okay, when you think of it that way, it's absolutely staggering when you think about the money that's coming. So share your thoughts on this stuff, guys. People don't realize how bad it's going to get. They really don't. And these experts, some are trying to warn you, some are trying to profit from you. Don't forget that.
You know, spring and fall would be refreshing, I suppose. This, the pool, actually the interesting story about the pool was Jim was going to stay back and, you know, they got the alert to evacuate. And the plan was all...
I'm going to finish this video with these last two stories. And we talked about Zillow in the last video and how they were selling these houses in these larger cities and taking a loss. Well, the information on Phoenix just came out. One city alone, they have over 200 properties. In fact, they have 224 properties listed for sale. 202 of them are being sold at a loss and listed at a loss. So if you're interested in buying a house in Phoenix, I'd contact Zillow, see what they'll take. This is clearly a desperate sign for that company. They are clearly in trouble and they clearly need the money. They would not be giving houses away and taking a loss like this on such a huge scale. Now, it's funny that I'm in front of the Wolf Center of all places, and I want to talk to you about Jordan Belfort, who's the Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan is an interesting character, a stockbroker, and you guys know about his problems, but he is thriving again on TikTok, and he gave advice to a mid-20 something year old where he said the guy should take a $60,000 a year job and quit. I found the TikTok, and I'll link that as well. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Jordan Belfort? I got a newfound fame of Jordan Belfort when he interviewed someone I really respect, Grant Cardone, and these guys went at it. And if I can find the Grant Cardone video with the Wolf, I'll share that with you guys as well, because it's definitely worth watching. But what do you guys think of guys like Jordan Belfort? Do you pay attention to Jordan Belfort? Okay, let me know. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Share this with all your friends and colleagues. Do not forget to join our email list. We got a bunch of cool announcements coming out. The link to join that is in the video description below. If you want to get the Webull stock, last day for the Webull stock. So you can get a Webull account, you get a free share of stock. You can trade Shiba Inu to your heart's content if you want. And let me know your thoughts on everything in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the Hubble House also. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you very soon.